Speaking of AI,
Huh?
isn't when he number 3?
Yeah.
Number 3?
Who was?
Who
3?
was number 2? That was Derek Fisher, wasn't he?
I think he was number 1, actually. Actually, I
Well,
think
this
the
is
number 1.
well, that's number
Number
1.
1 is yeah.
Number 1 is UNA.
How was everyone doing this fine Sunday evening? And just all the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Happy Mother's Day to the mother of the Dark King.
Happy birthday, Mama. Happy Mother's Day, Mama. So yeah, and happy Mother's Day to your mother of 2 amazing kids.
Yep. Yeah, I had a lovely brunch with my wife and my mom and my sister-in-law.
Nice.
And it was nice to be able to go out and about as we continue to usher towards normalcy in this world, in this coronavirus. He is Jared Cabacungan. He is the Dark King, which makes that his mom the Dark Lord. No, that would be
No.
that would be Senor Cabacungan. Hey, by the way, who taught you how to cook?
Oh, my parents, easily.
Both, or because I know your dad is a damn good cook.
Yeah,
because he's the one that makes the
he's the one that makes everything. Yeah, he's the one that makes everything in my family. So it's one of those things where I definitely have to. Those are one of the skills I have to continue on in the Dark King bloodline. So
whenever we get back to normalcy, by the way, real quick, he is Jared Cabacungan, aka the Dark King, at also Jared, also not Jared Comics 42, with fire sales to come, and of course you can check it out. You have your eBay listing on there?
Yeah, I've been having it up there.
Which, by the way, before we go through the introductions, dude, freaking comics are on fire right now. Yeah. I am the Voice of Reason, aka Kevin Pillow, at Voice of Reason 23. That's right, I got it backwards. I'm known as the Voice of Reason before I'm known by my real name. Yeah. And this is PS Comics I Love You. PS Comics I Love You on Facebook. PS Comics I Love You on Instagram. PS Comics I Love the letter U on Twitter. Dude, we were blowing some stuff up on social media this week, and I noticed we are inching ever so closer to that. We are so close to that number of giving away that that Wonder Woman 750.
Believe me, man, I'm adding more stuff to the proverbial fire for us to hopefully hit that number all across the board. Within my the thing that we're gonna do within the podcast today, I'm gonna show you guys what is also included in that little special giveaway for me personally. So here we are.
So with that said, I just want to, before we get into, because this ties into what we're going to talk about today. It's obviously we're going to talk about the best of April, whether it be this show, what's been going on in pop culture. But we in our news and notes, there's a ton of stuff to get to. But kind of a reference point. JR and I use, everyone wants to use eBay as a go off point for collecting comics and saying, I'm selling my, Amazing Spider-Man number 300, and I saw it went for eBay for $3,500. So yeah, I want $3,500. Like, no, dude, that's not how it works.
Yeah,
that just means someone stupidly paid $3,500 for it. Not to say that's not worth it, but I'm just saying. We use CLZ Comics and also Go Collect as two platforms that I feel that are pretty accurate barometers of the temperature of the current comic landscape. Some of them are, a little back and forth. Sometimes, one's a little high, one's a little low. Some of them are pretty darn close, but I've been updating my, we also, like I said, we use Key Collector for World Reference. We use Go Collect, which is part of CLZ Comics, the comic app, which is what I use to organize all my comics. And I've been updating my grades on my comics. They're, unofficial grades, but, JR and I have been taught by the Jedi Master of grading comics, and that is Javel Halale. I think that's how you say his name. I always get their last name wrong.
Yeah.
The owner Q. Let's call him Q.
Yeah, I'll call him Q. The owner, of course, of the one, the only comics.
Let's just call it what it is. He's married to the owner. Because let's just face it, the queen.
That was points of contention. I brought that up to them before. I brought up to her before, right? And I say like here's okay. Javel is only the owner when you have a when you have when you have a dispute with her.
Yes,
There you go.
this is true. But she is the face of that business. She is fabulous. Of course, we're talking about Chick at Comic Asylum. And for those of you who are watching from outside the Coachella Valley, Comic Asylum is one of the 3 comic book stores here in the Coachella Valley. The other is Sid Johnson's Desert Oasis Comics, and then of course I think his name is Steve. I don't know his full name, I apologize, who is the sole proprietor of Interstellar Comics in downtown Palm Springs. And again, if you're in the Coachella Valley, whether you live here or you are visiting, please, if you are into the nerd stuff, please visit these 3 shops and let them know that PS Comics I Love You sent you. And anyway, so Q has trained us well. Where we are his Padawan learners when it comes to what to look for. Matter of fact, Chick just over the last month has had one customer come in at least 3 or 4 times to send books away for CGC, and she's like, Kevin, come here, and she uses me as a reference point, like, give this, let him know if this is worth it, and I'll bust out the apps and stuff like that.
I think
but
I've seen that.
He's been coming in quite a bit on Wednesdays to do some CGC stuff. But anyways, with that said, I've been updating my comics in CLZ, which uses Go Collect as their barometer point for value. And my God, it is just, it's like watching my my stock go right now. It's like watching my Fidelity stock just grow every single day. So
Dogecoin.
I don't have Dogecoin. Fidelity doesn't trade a Dogecoin or Bitcoin yet. But I am rocking Apple, Microsoft, Yeti, WWE, all kinds of stuff. My tech stocks are doing quite well, and so is my comic book collection as they continue to rise. Dude, the one that's on the rise this week has been the recent Action Comics run that goes back to almost the DC reboot. What was that? Rebirth. Back in like 2015 or something like that. That run, this active run of Action Comics has been just blowing up all the way through Action 1000. So if you guys are collecting Action Comics Rebirth, take a look at it. I think it runs from about Action Comics about 950 through 1000, maybe even lower than that. No, it was the
800 something, isn't it?
It was the 800. Yeah, it was like maybe it's like an 850, 860. But check it out. But
just going back onto just comics nowadays, man, just going super bonkers. It's been going like crazy the last year and a half, man. Yeah, like we said before, multiple podcasts before, the silver lining for the coronavirus is that your collections, right, all your nerd stuff growing up has garnered value. Whether that be comic books, whether that be Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh my God, Pokemon cards, dude.
They're going insane. Like I love, like, I understand that we live in a society now where a lot of kids are not watching cartoons, but they're watching streamers now, right? Their favorite streamers. And so every time a streamer would do a couple of card quote unquote unboxings or whatever, right, to see what kind of cards they pull for their Pokemon cards, and they would spend thousands of dollars for old cards, right, or old packs. Like, there's this garnered up this new age of like people just wanting to like unravel stuff, right? And my nephew for his birthday, just like all he wanted to do was just unravel Pokemon cards. And I think his parents, they dropped down a lot of cash to get him some cards, and he pulled some good ones out. So he pulled out some new Charizards, he pulled out some new some new Pikachus and all that stuff. And I'm like, this is the day and age we live in, man. We're like, collecting is the in thing, which is great, which is good, because like it definitely gives credibility to like my time where collecting was seen as nerdy, was seen as like, oh my God, you're that, you collect Pokemon cards. Hell yeah, motherfucker. I used to collect Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi cards, all that stuff. There's things I still hold value. And so it's collecting is definitely one of the things that have been really been ramping up in the last couple of months. So guys, just if you're looking for a little niche thing to do and you have the cash, I will always say that if you have the cash, right, if you have the excess, just look at your go through your comic book shops, man. Go through your other card shops and see if you're, or I would say this, look at the streamer who does these things, right? I can't think of one, top of my head right now, but it's card collecting and definitely unboxing stuff is a big thing. But going back onto card, like collecting of comics and all that stuff, yeah, comic books is going crazy. Just within the last, I think, month or so, one of the biggest indie comics, Something's Killing Children, has gone up by like 1,000%.
Oh yeah,
It is
and it
insane.
and I
I
don't think it's even been. I don't think it's there's been any word on a TV show or
there
movie.
has been
Oh, there has been. I apologize.
there has been that because once the initial run of once they said what's the other one, Department of Truth, right? They said Department of Truth was getting a series, right? That was the first
Yeah,
one, and then Tinian, who is the creator of Department, who's the creator of both Department of Truth and or the writer of Department of Truth and Something's Killing Children, that crept in there like, oh, he's gonna get some for Something Killing Children, and so Something's Killing Children came out, I think 2018, circa 2018. Yeah, I think they're book 17 right now, I think. And so yeah, that's about a
oh,
year
I
and
think
a
it
half.
was. I don't think it was 2018. Was it? I think it was 2019. It is a
Like late
relatively new
2018.
book. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's late 2018, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. And then because number one came out around the same time that my sister and I went to Oregon Comic Con. And so we were looking for a number one, but the for zone variant. And so we found the for zone variant. But our dumbasses didn't want to get the regular number one, which is the book right now that's like jumped up
Yeah.
astronomically. Like before, you could get number one raw for like, $20, $30, it's the number one. But now, like I think a raw went for like $500 on eBay. Is valued around that same price on Key Collector, and I think a CGC 98 just sold for like 1,100.
Goodness gracious.
It is insane. It is absolutely insane. And my dumbass waited like a while in order to get. I haven't got number one yet. I was thinking like, damn, maybe I should get number one when it's like $500 for 98. Like, man, that's a little bit too much. Me now, like it's a thousand. It's like early it's like modern day key type of stuff now for these indie books, man. So that's just the market we're living nowadays, man. Like I really have to see if I can engage if I really want to get number one now, because that's in the like, oh, okay, then do you want to put $1,000 towards a modern key, or do you want to put $1,000 towards a Hulk, a first Wolverine, you know?
A
So
Hulk 181. I got one of those.
I know. No, screw you. I'm trying.
Well, it's
Hulk 181's going crazy. Hulk 181's is going crazy too, man. Like, oh my god, I like you can't even get a raw, right? You can't even get a raw, maybe a one for like under $1,000 anymore, dude. It's insane. Like a point eight, maybe. It's insane. Numbers are crazy nowadays, man. But
it's
here
it's
we are.
absolutely nuts. And to go back to
Mm,
the card collecting, which is kind of on the rise a little bit.
mm.
Baseball cards had kind of died off, and those are
Yeah,
kind of risen back up a little bit.
yeah.
But like JR said, Pokemon cards are on the rise, to the point where companies like CGC, which just got into grading trading cards and whatnot, and I think there's a couple other trading card companies, they're backlogged for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So if you send in if you could even get it in, if you're CGC, if you could set it yourself, or if you go through a third party, if you have someone that will even send in a card for grading right now, you're looking at not getting your card back until 2022.
Yep.
Which I feel you're paying, folks, because I sent my Amazing Spider-Man number one. What is it? What is it like? Oh, someone sold something on eBay. I know that sound. Or did you just buy something?
No, I didn't buy anything. Just I think I got
You
something.
got a
Hold
hit. You got a hit.
on.
What are we selling right now, bud?
Oh,
Tell the folks out there what's hot right now.
oh, a lot of things are hot, man. I'm trying to sell my Venom 3s again. I had like, I had like 5. They all came back 98s, and so I think I sold 3 total right now. I got one on the rise, and I'm also I'm selling off the big boy. I'm selling off my statue, my Batman
Oh,
Who Laughs.
the Batman Who Laughs, because we know, and we will tease this because there is an announcement coming up later in this podcast about what JR, other than stuff that he's going to invest into this podcast,
Hmm.
JR is going to let us know here later on in this podcast what exactly he is going to send his credit card into overdrive for. We'll find out in just a little bit. But I have an Amazing Spider-Man number 129. That's what it is, the number 129, which I handed over to Chick in June of last year, and it has yet to come back. I have received back my Amazing Spider-Man number 300, which of course is the first appearance of Venom. And that came back at a, what was it like? Wasn't it like a 9.2 or a 9.4 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Let me see.
Pretty high.
I got it right here in front of me. CGC 9.2. I have moderate expectations on my my Amazing 129, only because it wasn't in perfect condition. I'm thinking somewhere modestly around a 7, which still, according to Go Collector, would have it at 29, about $2,800. CLZ has a 7 going for a modest $900 to $1,000, but I guarantee you, if I put it on the open market, I could get easily 4 figures for it.
Yeah.
But if it comes back anywhere close to a 9,
Yeah, it's you
all
got
bets are
money.
off. But
Yeah.
that book I'm not expecting to see probably for at least another month or so.
Yeah.
Because it is being cleaned and pressed and whatnot.
Which is fine. That's found money at this point. That's found money. Like, and just looking back at your Spider-Man 300, the last one that's sold right now on eBay for a bid is 1,200.
Jeez.
May just sold today. And so, yeah, the last one before that one, it jumped a little bit, only by $49. So the last one sold with that was just straight up buy. It was $12.49, and that was May 8th, 2 days afterward. So
yeah, let's see today, and 9.2.
Yeah. And granted, I will say this: 3 years ago, Javel, right, owner of Comic Asylum, sold a bunch of 9s, right, 9.2s, 9.4s, 9.6s of Spider-Man 300 under $500. So here we are in today's new age of crazy.
It's fucking nuts, dude. And it's only gonna get crazier as
yeah. If you are
as this
definitely one of our friends listening, man, that have perused Comic Asylum and picked up and got lucky and got picked up a 300, man, from Javel for the price that you got it, man. Yeah, you got money right now, dude. So
oh my goodness. Anyways, speaking of stuff that's going to be going on or on the rise, the DCEU rages on. We do know that going forward in the DCEU, that anything that is going to be canon will be connected to the Snyderverse. We do know that anything having to do with the sequels to the DCEU, i.e., Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, Wonder Woman 3, anything going forward from here on out is what they call Elseworld canon. It will not be the main canon that we know from the Snyderverse. And one of those movies that is what we're talking about is Shazam's 2. That is Fury of the Gods, and it was confirmed by one of its actresses, Faith Herman, who plays the young Darla Dudley, posted on Twitter that the filming for the Shazam Fury of Gods sequel will start as soon as next week. We do also know that this is a possible debut in Shazam. This is a possible debut of The Rock's Black Adam, who also has begun, if I'm not mistaken, is in pre-production, if not in production, for his own standalone movie, Black Adam. Faith writes, last day of filming This Is Us season 5. And then I'm off to shoot Shazam 2 next week. I am grateful for these amazing opportunities. Happy Tuesday. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Now, of course, that post was made this past week. So by the time you listen to it, it'll be about a week old, which means you guessed it, Shazam is in production. Of course, Shazam 2 stars Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, Rachel Zegler, Helen Mirren. That's right, Dame Helen Mirren, who also, if I'm not mistaken, was seen in the latest Fast and the Furious trailer. She's going to return in that movie. Also starring Lucy Liu and others. Now, your boy here has met most of those people. When I was lucky to get I was able to buy my way in, as you do with WonderCon. You buy your way in with tokens. You get so many tokens when you buy a WonderCon badge, and I put a lot of my tokens in that. In that, at the time, it was just a DC movie signing, and I was like, it took us about 4.2 seconds to realize it was Shazam. And getting to meet Zachary Levi was pretty cool. I told him how much I loved Chuck, and which was a great show. And I asked him, I said, why don't you do? Why won't they bring it back? Because I'd love to. It was a great show. I had so much fun doing it. I told him how I used to work at Best Buy, and that it meant so much to a lot of us that worked there, you know. And he goes, well, the only reason I do it is, well, and he kind of looked around and goes, they pay me a lot more to do this. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So the release date has not been set in stone, with production beginning obviously this week. JR is kind of suspecting a release date of 2023.
Yeah, man.
I think you're not wrong, because they have shuffled the deck quite a few times with the DCEU, with the Snyderverse, with the Snyder cut coming out and being so critically received, and of course the fans received it quite well. So I suspect we're going to see a shuffle the deck, especially with stuff like Black Adam and Shazam too.
Yeah, most likely. I feel like that's what's probably gonna happen. Like the summer 2023, like you're looking for the possible big ramp up. You have Rock in the background. We all know Rock. You put Rock in somewhere in the standing in front of a summer blockbuster, it's gonna make money. Granted, like even some of his duds, right? And he did have a lot of duds even with current Rock. Those killed.
Still killed.
Somebody
likes him.
It's something like the world is gonna go to a Rock movie, right? Period, because it's The Rock. And so if you have him out there in your forefront or even somewhere in your foreground, like people are gonna watch the movie. And if it's a summer blockbuster, as well as the first summer post coronavirus, post COVID verse, it's gonna probably do big, man. So that's why I feel like it's gonna come out. They haven't confirmed all the other actors and actresses, the older versions or the Shazam faithful. They have yet to confirm them yet, but then it's most likely, it's more than assured that they're probably gonna be up in the next Shazam movie. But yeah, that's going on, man. Hey, 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 bro. What else? You know what else dropped?
We got a little teaser.
Yes, we did.
Of our boy Tom Hiddleston and the new Loki series. Of course, Loki features the ever so popular God of Mischief, and not just any God of Mischief. We're talking about the God of Mischief who escaped the clutches of Shield in the aftermath of the Battle of New York in the Avengers Endgame timeline. So for those of you who don't remember, let's go to our Wayback Machine, Scooby-Doo style. Let's go back to 2019, Avengers Endgame. We have the time heist going on, and we have Ant-Man, we have Captain America, and Iron Man and the Hulk all go to New York circa 2012. Bruce Banner goes to capture the Time Stone from the Sorcerer Supreme. He assumes is Doctor Strange. At the time, Doctor Strange was not the Sorcerer Supreme. It was oh my gosh, I can't think of her name.
Yeah, she's a legend too, man. I forgot her name at the moment.
Tinda Swilden's the ancient one. She was the one guarding the the Sanctum Sanctorum in New York, and he gets the Time Stone there, and then when Tony, Cap, and Ant-Man go to grab what would be the Space Stone, the Tesseract from Avengers Tower or Stark Tower at the time. Oopsie, they have a little mishap with the then Hulk, who knocks it out of Tony Stark's hand, and it is captured by Loki. He then disappears into God knows where. But we know when we're going to find out, JR? We're going to find out on June 11th, except that's what we thought.
Yeah.
Because the God of Mischief is up to no good, and he has talked to his friends at Disney Plus, and he's getting us 2 extra days. That's right. Loki's coming to us on Wednesday, June 9th now.
Yep.
So if you've been living under a rock, and you didn't hear about this, there you go. A lot of this has to do with the fact that Disney will still have my boys Bad Batch going on, and they don't want to interfere because I think starting next week we will get Bad Batch on every Friday. Of course, this past week we got it on Star Wars Day with Episode 1. Episode 2 came out on Friday. So right now, as you're listening or watching this, there is 2 episodes out, if I'm not mistaken, of Star Wars Bad Batch.
Yep.
Which I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm reading the reviews online, and I'm telling you right now, it is blowing up.
Yeah.
Bad Batch is killing it right now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's the reason why Loki will hit us on Wednesdays this summer, starting on June 9th, whereas Bad Batch will continue to air on Friday nights on Disney Plus. And of course, that means JR and I are going to have to work on Comic Book Day. New Comic Book Day on Wednesday, so it's going to be a long day for us if we decide to continue to do the.
It should be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems.
Just going for that.
Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, that's the news.
Talks, yeah, in talks of StarArs, actually, I saw a small little teaser trailer. Do you see that yet,
bro?
Right now.
Oh my gosh!
Right.
This.
So, so before I'll preface this with it before you say your piece. So Disney released another teaser trailer for Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser, and for those who don't know, that is going to be an event, or it's not really a ride. It's what would you?
It is a Star Wars. It is actually a Star Wars resort hotel.
Okay.
That is going to open up first in
in Disney World
in Orlando at Disney World.
Yep.
I have talked to some friends that say that Disney is looking into the possibility of bringing this resort to Anaheim. Where they're going to put it, they don't know. For those
they're going to do it because
for those of you who don't know, they are there's one thing that God's not making any more of, and that's land. There's not a lot of land in downtown Anaheim. Now, I have heard this, that the famed backstage area that runs along oh my goodness, I can't name of that street now. It's on the north side of the Disneyland Resort. There's a lot of the backstage area, a lot of the Disneyland Resort offices. I've talked to some friends and said that that's a possibility that that Disney has bought some property not too far from the Disneyland Resort, some office property, and that they're going to move all of the Disneyland Resort offices. So stuff that doesn't need to be on site. It's not mandatory to be on site. They're going to move off site. So all of the offices of the executives that run Disneyland and the Disneyland Resort are going to move off site. They're going to demolish the backstage area along the north side of the property that would run Ball Avenue. That's what it is, Ball Avenue in Anaheim, California. Of course, it's on the backside of Toontown. That there's a possibility that is where they will do some expansion, whether it be expanding Toontown, whether it's talk about adding this new resort over there and eminent domaining some old property that's on that side of the Disneyland Resort. Who knows? But
with all that said, though, the reason why they're probably going to the whole spiel is because Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser released a new teaser where it showed a Rey cosplayer showing off a life-size and pretty damn accurate lightsaber. Yes. Now, granted, like people are gonna say, okay, what is all this thing up for a lightsaber, bro? If you're a Star Wars fan, you saw this, you geeked out because it was. if you have any intrigue of anybody trying to replicate an actual lightsaber, right? You see on these YouTube do-it-yourself DIY creators, right? They try and recreate their own lightsabers. Disney did it basically, and it looked pretty damn cool. And I nearly thought in my head, damn, I'm gonna go to fucking Orlando to pay Orlando and go to a resort and possibly get one for myself, because that looked pretty freaking cool.
Well, what we do know at this point is that they will not be for sale. These are going to be working props used by cast members at the Galactic Starcruiser right now. But based on the reaction that the internet had after this small teaser, of course, it was teased a couple of months ago by Disney Resort CEO, the Disney Resorts CEO, whose name eludes me at this time, did a surprise media event that saw he himself use this working lightsaber. Now, is this lightsaber going to be able to be used to carve the Thanksgiving turkey? No. This uses a series of foldable lights to unravel out of a replica hilt from the Star Wars universe. In this case, the one that we saw, which I will have the video posted on our Facebook page if I don't already. But yeah, this is pretty neat. I've seen a couple of YouTubers try to quote recreate it or show the technology behind it. The Disney Imagineers, since the story I've heard is that since Disney acquired Lucasfilms back in like 2011, 2012, this has been something that the Disney Imagineers have been trying to work on. Now, we have seen the closest thing to it, to realistic, I guess you would say, is the do-it-yourself or the build-it-yourself lightsabers that are in Galaxy's Edge. But of course, those still have a replica, authentic, and very nice and very pretty nice looking kind of screw-on light saber, the actual saber part. But that is not what we're seeing, and we're not seeing the toy that we've had for 30, 40, 50 years, the kind of the accordion or the telescoping a plastic Star Wars lightsaber. That's not what this is. This is a hit the button and it does the sound and everything. It's pretty sweet. And
cool, man. I can't wait.
It's amazing what they can create.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And this is within the span of like, okay, so it took them a while. Disney took them a while, but then just from but we all know how technology goes. Once it's freaking built, it can be expanded or updated within a couple of years easily. And so we've kind of are almost across the veil in the sense of like, dude, we're about to do some sci-fi stuff, man. And so, and granted, I'm not talking about like, cutting off, we're not talking about cutting off like freaking iron doors or anything like that. Just more so just to have one at home and just look at it is freaking cool. So
well, I do know that when Disneyland does reopen, I think it technically already has.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Orlando. I think Orlando's been
Orlando's been open since July of last year. Disneyland is now reopened. I think it opened on April 28th. I'm going to talk to a buddy of mine who is, I believe, got hired back already, and see if I can get tickets to go to Disneyland, because I have yet to be to Galaxy's Edge, and I want to do the lightsaber. I know it costs a couple $100. Right, real quick though, JR, before we move on to the rapid fire news, if you go to Galaxy's Edge and you do decide to do the lightsaber build it yourself events, so to speak, what kyber crystal are you picking?
I'm trying to get the proper names for it.
Are you gonna go full Sith Lord?
I might. I probably will. If anything,
I figured you'd go with Ahsoka to know.
I'm thinking here's the thing, right? Ahsoka, I love her, but that should be Ahsoka's type of thing. I'm more so of a Darth Revan type of guy, right? I'm more so for Darth Revan, or I'd probably go with just pure red. Now, if there's a pure black, there you go. There's yet to be continuity of pure black crystal kyber, but I'm pretty sure there was a pure black kyber crystal somewhere in the extended universe. I just forgot.
Yeah, there is a to address the kind of the folklore, and I've seen videos on this. It does really exist. When you go to Star Wars and you go to Galaxy's Edge and you build the lightsaber, you get to pick a kyber crystal. Now that is not your end all kyber crystal. You can actually choose
switch.
You can go buy separate ones, and there was a whole video where the guy was trying to find on his own a black kyber crystal, And the way you find them is buying the red kyber crystal, which of course is the Sith Lord and stuff like that. And there's a whole story behind it, which is really cool because each one has its own story. So when you buy it, when you buy I think it's when you buy the red ones, it's a blind buy. You cannot see inside the little tube that it comes in. And and actually I think they even say you have to buy the red one from behind the counter. Like you can't take it off the rack.
Nice.
But there's a cool story. Like when you open it up and you get the kyber crystal, it'll tell you like each one will be slightly a different color red, and you go like, oh, this is Darth Vader's, this is Kylo Ren's, this is and this is Emperor Palpatine, this is yada yada yada. So there's a really cool story behind each one. It's a really neat, and again, this just goes to, and some people want to crap on Disney about they're just a big corporation that just wants to ruin everything. Well, you know what though, they've put the Imagineers have really put a lot of effort into the story behind it. And I think in I think when you buy the kyber crystals, I think there's only I think the white one for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
The only one I think in continuity that has a white lightsaber is Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And I've been told that with the purple kyber crystal, there's actually 2 people now in continuity that have the purple lightsaber, and that is Mace Windu, and then one other person I can't think of who it is. But it's really neat. It is really a neat experience, and it's one of the reasons why I want to go, because I want the whole experience. And so
I think if I remember correctly, the new one that has, it might be someone from the High Republic that has the purple
could be
kyber crystal, most likely than that. But going on to now, guys, rapid fire news, just some stuff that has really been going on, around the web that I saw looking pretty interesting. At Paramount Plus, how original name, Paramount Plus, is plans to debut a new movie every single week in 2022. That sounds interesting. That sounds pretty cool. That sounds like a pretty damn surefire plan to want people to come and possibly drop another $9, $10, $15 on your streaming subscription.
You can get Paramount Plus, I think, which is of course is formerly known as CBS All Access. And the reason they changed it to the Plus, of course, I believe Apple was the first one to don the do the Plus thing. Then of course Disney did it with Disney Plus. AMC does it, AMC Plus, Discovery Plus. And the reason they do that is it's meant to be an add-on to your existing experience with those properties. But we know nowadays most people are adopting to go with just that, like I do. I don't have cable. I do have access to those original channels. But for those of you looking for a price, I believe Paramount Plus starts at $6.99 a month for commercials. I think it's $9.99 or $10.99 a month without commercials. If you're an Apple fan and you have if you have an iPhone, an iPad, or an Apple TV, you can actually it's a smoking deal. You can actually get access to Paramount Plus commercial free and Showtime through it's through the Apple TV app. It's one of their channels, and you can buy these within the Apple TV app. And I think it's Showtime and Paramount Plus commercial free for $10 a month, which is a smoking deal. So if you're an Apple user, check that out. But there's some cool content because it has everything that Viacom has, and Paramount is the host studio, I guess you'd say. So it's the Viacom Corporation's streaming service. But it is Paramount is the sister.
I just find it interesting that like Paramount is definitely trying to go all in on their streaming services, and they just want to all right, cool, here's an incentive. We're gonna put out every single week. Maybe it's gonna be a big hit, right? Maybe you'll get like what James Bond's Paramount, right? No,
James Bond is actually owned
by MGM.
I think it's MGM owns this distribution rights. Matter of fact, they're the only ones that really haven't signed. And there's talk. We talked about this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. I remember that. I just forgot. I just keep on forgetting the distributor's name for it.
They're still trying to sell.
Yeah. But like, it just trying to think of like, what Paramount movies like Sonic the Hedgehog. There you go, Sonic the Hedgehog, the new one that's coming out. Right, it's gonna be on Paramount Plus. Possibly another Transformers movie whenever they're not gonna stop milking that freaking franchise. Coming to America, which has already been released on Amazon Prime. We might see that again on Paramount Plus. But like, yeah, just it's crazy to think that all right, cool. Every week in 2022, we're gonna just release a new movie, right? Whether that be good, whether that be bad, whether that be the high, yes, quote unquote high tier movies, blockbusters type of dealings, we'll get when their usual screenings in movie theaters or not. That's just an interesting, and definitely an interesting way to like try to sell your product, man. Like, hey, man, you might get it. Also, in also looking on Amazon, actually.
Well, real quick too,
Yeah,
just for those of you looking for what CBS All Access, or what I'm sorry, what Paramount Plus has to
Paramount.
offer. You got to think about it.
Yeah,
This is the home of all things Star Trek. It is
that's right.
technically the streaming home for Mission Impossible movies.
That's right.
It also has access to the Indiana Jones series. Now you're wondering, wait a minute, is it Indiana Jones on Disney? Well, it's technically distributed by Paramount. I think it was co-produced by Lucasfilms. I think going forward, all of the new Indiana Jones movies are made by Disney. I think they own the rights to the IP, but the distribution is owned by Paramount. Movies like Tommy Boy, The Godfather, Clue, Truman Show, Minority Report, Galaxy Quest, which is like a
Yeah,
super underrated movie, and of course, also you got to take into consideration Paramount, most specifically Viacom,
yeah.
also owns Comedy Central and MTV. So there you
Mm,
go. If you want, you got to get some cool content
yeah.
from them. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. Is it gonna be new movies? Is it gonna be
Old movies.
what are they gonna release in
Yeah, it's
2022?
it's most like that. But just sticking back to Amazon per se, they acquired streaming rights to Sony's live action Cinderella story, Cinderella, their own live action, starring Camila Cabello. For those who don't know, she is the famous actor, or she's the famous singer who has sung hits like Havana and Senorita with Shawn Mendes. Yes, Shawn Mendes. So that was pretty interesting. I didn't know that Sony made their own live action Cinderella movie. It wouldn't
Well,
be out of the norm though.
no,
But yeah,
because that you got to understand is like Cinderella is one of those public domain
yeah,
properties, and that's what. And
rather than them stuff. Yeah,
Disney's just kind of played
yeah,
their claim to it because
it's
it's
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah.
We did it
So
100 years ago. So
yeah, that's gotta be interesting to see. I definitely want to see a a Cinderella featuring Camila Cabello. That'll be interesting. Yeah. And also just another news, a Red Sonja reboot cast Hannah John-Kamen, Ghost from Ant-Man and Wasp. I thought that was an interesting choice.
okay, reboot. That means that they've done it. Did I miss something? Did they do a
Yeah,
Red Sonja?
man, you did.
Where the hell have I been, bro?
I don't know, bro. Okay, so remember that Arnold Schwarzenegger did he did Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian.
And then the actress in it played Red Sonja. She is
Oh, so this is an old reboot.
an old
Oh,
reboot.
I
Yeah.
apologize. I'm thinking like it was recent. I mean, I know that Red Sonja's been
No,
around
man.
for a hot minute. It's been around
Yeah.
for quite some time.
I'm
Um,
trying to remember the actress's name who played her, but let me see. But yeah, the uh, uh people are gonna remember her, right? Bridget Nielsen. There you go, Bridget Nielsen. People are mostly gonna remember her though. Sadly, if you've lived in the last 10 or so years, or maybe 15 years, she was on Flava Flav's. She dated Flava Flav.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they dated Flava Flav, and one of the most hilarious things I've seen is that Flava Flav, who was a part of oh man, I forgot the name of the band of the rap group he was in but I think they played somewhere in Europe, right? And they saw and they did OPP, right? Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you down OPP, right? And they had her come and like no, they were playing a very heavily black theme song. Of course, it's a black band, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a black crowd as well. And then Flavor Flav brings out this European, a little bit older, of course, Bridget Nielsen, a little bit older, right? European chick twerking on stage in a predominantly black concert. and the music just stops. And like, what the hell is going on? It was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. It was cringy, but like I loved it, man.
Well, that's
Props
the
to
whole. That was the whole. What the whole show was. Don't mind me. I'm putting my.
yeah. Bridget
I,
Nielsen. I gotta you gotta give respect to Bridget Nielsen, man. She was definitely a stunner back in the day. She's still a stunner now, man. Yeah, she
she's
rocking
not
70
horrible looking
years old.
for her age, but she's definitely been around the block a couple times. And
Horrible looking. Damn, bro. Ouch. But yeah, she is definitely one of those like if you grew up in the 80s, I know whose poster you had on your wall.
oh yeah,
Type of thing, right? So yeah, she's definitely fit that type of like so they're recasting the girl from Ant-Man and Ant-Man
which
and
will be
Wasp.
interesting. Which will be
Yeah.
interesting because, for those who don't know, I mean, Brigitte Nielsen would be perfect. Put her with long red hair,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's her. You got to understand that Red Sonja is um
It's
a very
interesting.
it's a she's a very powerful, um very
It's
statuesque
yeah.
character, very buxom
Yeah.
character, as they would like to say.
Mhm.
Not to say that Hannah John Kamen isn't any of those things, but I mean,
It-
she's a beautiful woman, but she's a
yeah.
talented actress first and foremost, and she just doesn't scream Red Sonja to me. But you know what?
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
I open that because there's been so many things that have done just that. Um, I will say this: I rewatched Captain Marvel, the Brie
Yeah.
Larson movie,
Uh,
and for every time I watch it and she pisses me off, there are times where I watch it and she go, okay, I see it. I still think that Captain Marvel. I think that they cast from a look standpoint, absolutely nailed it. I honestly think that going to go down the Captain Marvel wormhole real
yeah.
quick. I think that there was times in the movie that she phoned it in.
Yeah.
I think that Hannah, maybe I'm missing something, and when they make this movie or TV show or whatever it is, um, they get her on set, they get her in costume, they get her
Yeah.
in hair and makeup, and like, bro, like, never mind, dude, nailed it. And then
Yeah.
when she brings the source material to life, okay,
We'll see.
you got me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
the
definitely
the
it,
the
it's
jury is still out.
yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting from that because in the sense of Brie Larson, I knew exactly the look they're looking for. Right, they're talking about Amanda Connor's run of of um
Yeah.
of of Captain Marvel, and so understandably so. Cool, you get that. You want that version because that's the version that even that Brie Larson read, right? Because she tweeted out or posted on Instagram a long time ago when she was announced when it was announced that she was gonna be Captain Marvel. That was the run she was reading, and that's why she was a little bit more snarky in the movie because that was the type of writing that Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti did and usually do, right? And so I'm just gonna see. I'm definitely on the wait and see type of approach with Hannah. Granted, I loved her as Ghost, and
Oh
I
yeah,
hope
absolutely.
I hope that she'll continue to be in the MCU right in some form or fashion. But yeah, it's gonna take some convincing in the sense of like just she has a very exotic look, and I love no, she has a very interesting look, right? Because her curves on her sharp lines on her face are very reminiscent to uh, I just say nothing like Red Sonja type of thing, right? And granted, and I don't know how you can get past possibly doing a Red Sonja movie in today's age too, man. Specifically when she's majority of the time wearing a skimpy bikini clad metal, get up type of thing, right? So granted, Bridget Nielsen, right? She had a little more suitable, I guess, upper body wear, but like I don't know how you can do this movie in today's day and age type of thing. I like that's one of the biggest things I'm intrigued about. And like, okay, how are they gonna do a Red Sony movie in 2021 or 2022 when it's probably gonna come out? So I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. Are they gonna go full Frank Cho, very buxom, very full figured, Red Sonia, or are they gonna go a different approach? And that's definitely one of the questions I want to see answered. and hopefully we'll probably get to that, man. And also going to things going to production and possibly and ending in 2022. New set photos and character descriptions for Game of Thrones spinoff House of the Dragon was revealed earlier this week, and I gotta say, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, my friend. I know you weren't really into Game of Thrones, man. Like,
It's not that I'm not, again, it's not one of those things where I'm like, nope, don't want to
yeah,
watch it. I don't, when I do shows like that, I dive head first,
yeah,
and I dove head first in that show.
yeah.
Oh,
It was a lot. It was a
it's a
lot for
lot. It is a lot.
all.
And
Yeah, all the I will always tell my friends this, man. It's like if you're getting into Game of Thrones, man, just be ready for a lot of like gore, sex, and incest, and that's the first episode.
hey, real quick before I forget, because take you kind of behind the curtain here,
Mm,
with my setup. I have my big 27-inch iMac is my main device here in front of me. I see JR's face in our Zoom call with our backgrounds. Off to the side, I have my script, and I also have it. I have my notes script on
yep.
my iPad over here, but I also have a web browser open so that I can pull up news and stuff like that in context.
Mm,
And I'm on IMDb because I was going to pull something up about Conan, and
mm,
they have a little thing scrolling by for the Eternals, and of
yep.
course, the Eternals is going to be directed by the Academy Award winning director Chloe Zhao,
Yeah.
and I was just caught out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, why is Chick on IMDb? Now, Chloe Zhao is a Chinese director, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, our beloved Chick is Filipino,
Yeah.
but at quick glance, Chloe Zhao does look like Chick, which means, in my opinion, we can say that we now have a family doppelganger in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So there you go, Chick. That's one step closer to being the MCU. Is you look a lot like Chloe Zhao there, and I think that at times, Chick, with her comic knowledge and her storytelling, that she's right there on par with the Academy Award winner. So I don't know. I just kind of caught my eyes like, whoa, that looks like Chick, but um,
Trying
I
to get
just
brownie
caught my
points. I see you. Trying to get brownie points right now.
damn right, because if that doesn't work, you just bring
Bring food.
you just bring now that you just bring one of these to Javel.
Mm.
Which, by the way, I cannot wait to go back to doing the parties and whatnot at the
Yeah, man.
asylum, so we can
Yeah.
get Javel drunk and get some wall books.
Those be fun. Those be fun. But
Dude,
yeah,
those were the days.
yeah. Going back on to Game of
House,
Thrones.
the Game of Thrones, yeah.
House Strike. Matt Smith is it Matt Smith? No. Yeah, Matt Smith. I think the
Like
Ninth
the
Doctor.
Matt Smith, like the
No.
Doctor Matt Smith.
Yeah, Doctor Matt Smith. Yeah, the Doctor. He's actually gonna be playing one of the lead roles. Rhaegar Targaryen.
Really?
Yeah,
That
he's gonna be playing. Yeah, he. So if for those spoilers for those who haven't watched a 10 year a 10 it took about 10 years to finish the series, right? Even those 8 seasons. Uh, the Targaryen clan was a very ruthless dragon riding um your land is my land type of like your land is literally my land type of like people, right? Who built up the kingdom that the Game of Thrones uh the first season of Game of Thrones or all that was based upon, right? And so I think it's Rhaegar Targaryen or
what's
something like that.
that?
Ragnar, his name, the king.
Dame to Matt Smith's character
Yeah,
is
I think.
Damon Targaryen.
Oh, Daemon Targaryen.
Yeah,
All right,
I'm
cool.
looking at it right now.
Okay. Oh, so it's that. Yeah, that's right. That's Dance of Dragons. The
Rain
original
Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Rhaenyra Targaryen. Yeah.
That's Emma Darcy. Yeah.
Okay. I forgot where are they going with this one? Like, because the very first king or the very first Targaryen that went loose on Westeros, he and his two sisters, aka his wives, because kingdoms, right? They had a Targaryen clan, and I think they're going. I think they're going with the Dance of Dragons act, where we had a bunch of Targaryen. There was a civil war during the Targaryen clans, so it's gonna be a lot more dragons. It's gonna be crazy, man. I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, and it takes place 300 years prior to the events of Game of Thrones. And again, like JR mentioned, it comes out in 2022. And this show is already in production. And of course, it will debut on HBO and HBO Max
Yep.
sometime next year. Released for Resident Evil 8. This is the video game, correct? Or is this the
Yes.
movie?
Village. The Resident Evil 8 just came out, man, and I say that because I might freaking be playing that game. I might stream the game eventually, man. It's for those who were in the memes, in the last month or so, and they had they had this meme out there, man. Like there's this very buxom, very large vampire woman in the game, Lady Demistra or Madame Demistra. Yeah, she's like a 9 foot, like very buxom, right? Very very huge in all the right in all the great ways. Vampire, where a lot of the memes there online, like, oh, what you want to tell people saying that when you're playing Res Evil. Oh, it's gonna be for the story. I want to see what this on. Well, your real reason, right? And they show just they show this backside picture of Lady Mystery, and I'm like, yeah, that's the reason why. I'm like, damn, I guess. I just want to freaking play if you like it's a Resident Evil game. I want to play it, but yeah, that is definitely a good. That's definitely one of a good perk, I guess, to play it. But yeah, Resident Evil 8 came out this week. Yeah, Thursday, released on Thursday, and um, it's gotten decent reviews. I'll say that it's gotten decent reviews. Some people say that it looked like it felt like a step back from Resident Evil 7, which is in the same path of what they're going for the Resident Evil franchise, not accounting the remakes. And so overall, though, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty interesting. I just want to see what a next gen Resident Evil game looks like on my PS5. So that's the biggest reason why I'm getting it. So I'll let you know how that goes, guys.
Well, next, but certainly this is
Mhm.
this will be the last in our rapid fire news
Yeah.
report. I'm going to take the reins on this one because my boy is over there, got sweaty
Mhm.
palms, his knees are weak,
Mhm.
and is we got mom spaghetti
Mhm.
all over his whatever. I can't remember the lyrics were. I was trying to reference Eminem, but dude's over there sweating hardcore because his credit card's about ready to go on overload because my boy, good old JR Kambakungan, about to go into debt because Sideshow Collectibles just announced
I
this
know.
past week. If I'm not mistaken, it's the one I'm looking at right now on sideshow.com. Let's bring it up here on the YouTube channel. If this is the one, is this the one, JR?
I think so. Yeah. You just check the price. I know it's like about like $400 or $5.
It's about $500. It
Premium
is
format.
Ahsoka. It is Ahsoka to know.
Yep.
$585. Let's take a look at the main image. It is exclusive. Was it Moray?
Yeah, yeah. Exclusive
Uh,
more.
that's
Y-
the
The Jedi Bird. Yay.
Jedi. And so there it is. It's a beautiful statue. I mean, the
Yeah.
detail on Sideshow is nuts. Like, that's kind of the more or less. Again, if you're on the YouTube channel, check it out. If not, we will post this on our Facebook page. The link this this figurine. Um, they're looking at the prototype images right
Mhm.
now. This product dimensions stands at 19 and a half inches tall, 14 inches wide, 14 and 3/4 inches deep.
Mhm.
It is on pre-order right now with a tentative launch date of sometime later this year.
No, next year. Next
Oh,
year.
next year, expected
Yeah.
May of 2022 or
Yeah.
July 2020, May and June, or May between May and July of next year. Um, and again, we will post this on our Facebook page if you
Yeah.
guys want to check it out.
Yeah.
Again, that's
Yes.
facebook.com
Yeah.
slash um,
Hey, our preview page. Eh,
facebook.com slash PS Comics I Love You. So
Yeah, which is gonna suck for me to a certain extent because I also just pre-ordered, I think a month or two back. I just pre-ordered Power Girl. There's a new Power Girl premium statue that's also being released by Sideshow. So yeah, that's gonna suck. But I
So
love it.
real quick, speaking of, and let us know too, this kind of reminded me, is let us know in the comments below if you guys want to have what do you think about having guests, having interviews and stuff like that. JR and I had talked about this earlier this week. We are efforting a guest. She is a cosplayer who actually is well known in the cosplay industry as playing Power Girl. Her stage name is Vegas PG. You can find her on all social media
Her.
platforms. She's a longtime friend. Met her in Vegas, of all places. Go figure. But I've known her for years through a mutual friend from down in San Diego, and yeah, she is interested on coming on the Comic Con as we get ever so closer to the return of the cons later this fall. So yeah, she's gonna be coming on, and we're gonna try to work out those details coming up pretty soon. But she's pretty famous for playing Power Girl, and we'll talk about that and more. But that's coming up in maybe in the next few weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
So who knows? But yeah, JR is about ready to go in debt. Him and I are working on some things behind the scenes for the podcast to make the show all that much more better. And yeah, I think JR is about ready. We see the dude needs a new MacBook Pro. He needs the Roadmaster Pro. He needs a Power Girl statue, and now he needs the Ahsoka Tano. I think there's some. Again, he's at also not JR Comics 42 on Instagram. I see some eBay listings coming up very, very soon.
Yeah, pretty close. But yeah, going and now. Oh my god, it's gonna suck. Not having money, but yeah, just now, guys, going on to our main topic of the night. So the month of April came. There's a lot of good things that happened in the month of April. Am I not wrong? A lot of great things happened in the month of April, man. And so, we try to do this, I guess, bi-monthly, tri-monthly, or every other month or so, where we put out, what was our favorite things from last month. And so, one of our one of the, I guess, suggestions I put out there, man, like, what are your favorite covers and what are your favorite shows and all that stuff, man. So I made a list, my friends, and of course, this is a list that that both Kevin and I won't go. We don't need to go bullet point per bullet point. We can always jump in and out of it. Just more so like, what are some of our favorite things of the month of April? And so, my friend, do you want to start off, or do you want me to start off?
I think it's no secret that both of us really enjoyed in the month of April was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I think that though the show began in technically began in the month of March, I think it really hit its stride in April, and I think some of its best episodes came in the month of April. So I'm gonna have to go right off the bat, like at least like my favorite show was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think there was a lot of cool stuff that came out this past month. I know one of them JR is going to talk about going back to, I think it's on Amazon Prime, or what's Invincible on. That's
Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime. So but yeah, I have to say my favorite show easily was Falcon the Winter Soldier. I will say though, the show's been out for quite some time. I finally discovered the show Ted Lasso on Apple TV Plus, which is hilarious. If you're a fan of I can't think of the guy's name now. The guy is he from The Hangover and The Office? Isn't that him?
Which one?
The guy that plays the lead character. I'm going to look him up now. But
you're talking about are you talking about John Krasinski?
No, John Sudeikis. Jason Sudeikis.
That's right, Jason Sudeikis.
It's a hilarious show, and I highly recommend it. It's on Apple TV Plus. So if you're an Apple user, I believe you get 1 year free of Apple TV Plus when you buy a new Apple device. But I would have to say that even though Ted Lasso has been out for a while, that was something I discovered this past month. But definitely Falcon the Winter Soldier was something that I really, really enjoyed. And also, I just rewatched in its completion the show Entourage once again. It's been a hot minute since I've watched that show, and man, for as good as that show was, they could not make that show in 2021.
Absolutely
So,
not.
what you got, bud?
Oh, for me, for just favorite shows, Falcon Winter Soldier, definitely. It was definitely the right show to come out at this time, right? So like just how everything involved, like what was MCU going for? Where are we gonna? Where is Disney gonna take the MCU, and who is gonna be along for the ride? Type of say, right? Because with the possible retirement of a lot of the older cast, I definitely want to see what they were gonna do now, and so just Falcon Winter Soldier was definitely one of the right answers per se, like
Yeah,
for me. And but I guess the one for me that really struck the home though for one of my favorite shows was Invincible. Invincible was a really freaking great show. It ended just I think last month, right? If I remember
just
correctly.
a
Yeah,
couple
just
weeks ago, wasn't it?
yeah, a couple weeks ago. And like, dude, yeah, it was good. It was really freaking good. I will say, like what one of the things that it really does showcase is that if we did have superheroes, the amount of damage that superheroes do on cities, right? But not just like the overall like just like property damage. I'm talking about like life damage, right?
Yeah,
Like if you see episode 8, right, and the things that were shown, you would question where the hell was Superman's body count in Man of Steel type of stuff, man. Because like the gore is crazy, but like I think what I love about the show is that they really try to really try to interconnect the father son relationship because yeah, if those who know, Omni Man is the Superman of the universe,
yeah.
and um, and Mark Grayson is like Superman's son but older, and so you see this interplay between them, and you see just a lot of the storylines involved, and you see just Mark from the perspective of Mark, him trying to grow up in this world, with powers, and you see the loss of life tremendously. Like it is insane. I definitely recommend it. I would definitely recommend this show. Uh, especially for those who aren't queasy. Like I'll say that if you aren't queasy with blood and guts and gore, be ready for a thrill ride. I will say that much, man. But yeah, I love the show. It was definitely. I can't wait for season 2 and 3. That was definitely a show I want to watch. And I will say actually, since we're on favorite shows, favorite movies too. Of last month, yeah, I just even though I literally just watched this movie a couple of days ago, I have to put this movie out. It's a Korean movie, not Korean movie, is a Malaysian movie called The Night Comes for Us. It's from the same guys who made, it's from the same genre of films for the guys who made Ray Redemption, who made, it features got Iko Huas, it features Joe Taslim. Joe Taslim was in Mortal Kombat as Sub-Zero, and so it's an action-oriented movie. It is a super like gritty, gory movie as well. That is definitely on my favorite movies. Mortal Kombat, definitely. I loved it. I know
Finally
this
watched it.
guy. I know
Finally
this guy
watched it.
has. I know this guy has something said different, but like it's cool. He isn't as invested as I am. I'll say that.
You
So,
know,
good.
going back, okay, well, I'll ride that train right now. Is
Go ahead.
one of the best things that came out in April too was I think we got Godzilla versus Kong technically came at the end of March.
Mhm.
We did get Mortal Kombat less than a week after that.
Yep.
And I finally got around to watching it yesterday.
Mhm.
As we're recording this, would have been Saturday morning.
Mhm.
I got up early. Haven't been sleeping very well lately, so I got up and I was like, to be honest, I turned it on thinking that I would fall asleep during it because I've heard some mixed reviews about it. I've heard that as action packed as it is, it's a very boring movie.
Mhm.
Um, I I think there were times where I was watching it because the way it starts off, is it starts off really, really good. The first like 10-15 minutes of the movie is phenomenal. I mean, just right out of the gate.
Oh yeah.
And you have um Joe
Tesla.
Taslim, who plays
Yeah. Sub-Zero.
Bihan and aka Sub-Zero, has a scene with Hiroyuki Sanada.
Sonata, he's the guy, if you remember correct. I just kind of sorry to cut you off, but like
No,
he's the
but
guy in The Last Samurai, the general in Last Samurai.
now, am I saying that Hiroyuki? Am I saying that correctly? Mic's off. Can't hear you, or did my headphones die?
There you go. There you go. Hideyuka.
Hiroyuki.
Yeah, Hideyuki. Yeah.
Anyways, no, he plays Scorpion, aka Hanzo Hasahashi.
Yep.
He is also from Avengers Endgame. He plays Akihiko, who is the leader of the what do they call those? What do they call the mafia in Japan?
Oh, he wasn't. Are you talking about? Are you talking about not the Triad Chinese, the Yakuza?
The Yakuza. He's the Yakuza leader. Is it Chinese or is he Japanese?
He's Japanese. Are you talking about? Which character are you talking about again?
Ronin, aka Haka, aka
Yeah.
Clint Barton kills him
Okay.
in a samurai battle in the streets of what's assumed
right,
to be Tokyo.
That's right. Oh, you didn't catch the last part then. Yeah, I will say he was also in You hear me say that? He was also in Last Samurai?
Last Samurai, yeah.
Okay.
And he was also in the Wolverine. He is Shinjin.
The old man?
He plays a character in the Wolverine, which is a highly underrated X-Men movie.
Yeah.
From he was in 47 Ronin. He also was in the TV series The Last Ship, which I've heard is awesomely terrible or terribly awesome. We're gonna look at it. But no, he plays in 2013's The Wolverine. He plays a character by the name of Shinjin in it. But but going back to Mortal Kombat, Scorpion and Sub-Zero's fight in the beginning of the movie is excellent.
Great.
And
yeah,
it's a great fight scene. And then they followed up with the interaction between Louis Tan's Cole Young and Matilda. No, I'm sorry. Not Matilda. Jessica McNamee, her version of Sonya Blade, and Josh Lawson's Kano. It was just like, it was like pulling teeth, and I'm just like, this is not good. Though Kano does kind of warm up to me, but it's like the shtick got old real quick. Jessica McNamee, her version of Sonya Blade, though better than its predecessor, which actually is oh my goodness, what's his name? Yeah. What's not Andre Agassi? It's the other guy, the other tennis player. It's his wife.
Which one? The current one? Pete Sampras?
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, it's Pete Sampras's wife. Wasn't I think that's her in the original, in the other Mortal Kombat. Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie.
I don't know. So it was just basically boring for you. Just the fight scenes.
I love the fight scenes. I enjoyed more so the fight scenes between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I think they were excellent, and I think that they weren't oddly enough, they weren't overly graphic. Not that I had anything wrong with it. There was a couple of like, oh, bro, dude, that was awesome. But it was it is not for the faint of heart.
Oh yeah,
it is a it's a brutally gruesome movie. I think that the depiction of this is gonna really bug me. I'm looking up who played Sonya Blade, and it was Bridget Wilson Sampras.
Yeah.
Which you know what's funny is it was this close to being Cameron Diaz.
Really?
Yes. Cameron Diaz originally was cast to play Sonya Blade because she was hot off the mask and she was a bigger draw. But something happened and they couldn't get her, and Bridget Wilson was hot off not Happy Gilmore, the other one. Billy Madison.
Okay.
And so they went with her. She was the next big it actress out there available that could fit the role. And I don't know, I just I guess she looked more Jessica looked more like Sonya Blade than Bridget Wilson did, though they're both statuesque, buxom blondes.
I guess like the I think one of the bigger I know we said it before when I talked about Mortal Kombat when I first saw it, is that a lot of people are comparing it to the old movie, and that's actually not the right way to go about it, right?
Because, no, and I'm not.
If you compare it, because I've seen a lot of the criticism going for like, oh, that's not my. People have said about the person who played Liu Kang, like, oh, that's not my, Liu Kang. Liu Kang was more of a badass, right? Just think of Robin Shu, who did the original Liu Kang. Well, if y'all were playing the games correctly, right, the Liu Kang, other than of course the last Mortal Kombat, hasn't really been in the forefront for a very long time. We see more of Sub-Zero, we see more of Scorpion, we see way more of newer characters like Cassie Lang, or even Melina has got a bigger spotlight in Katana and all these other characters. And so the current movie is taking more so kind of nodes, right, in the sense of like characters with the recent Mortal Kombats. And so that's why the bigger draws were Sub-Zero and were Scorpion. You wanted to see that fight because that was the fight to see, rather than just having it be the Liu Kang show, which I'm fine with. If it was Liu Kang show, and I definitely feel like Liu Kang that was chosen is definitely the best representation of Liu Kang, because that dude looks like Liu Kang. That dude, because
I had no problem with Liu Kang.
Yeah, let's be real. 1 second. Liu Kang is just basically was just basically kind of not a ripoff, but like, man, the video's messed up. Was supposed to be Bruce Lee.
Yes. He's supposed to be Bruce Lee. I think not Bruce Lee, but Brandon Lee was supposed to be, because when did Brandon Lee pass away? When was The Crow made? Like 90?
Yeah, I think so. Some of that.
But anyways, no, that character is very much based on
Bruce Lee.
On Bruce Lee. So
yeah. So but just going with that is, I just can't wait for the more movies after that. But going on from that, go ahead.
I will say I do want to throw some love to it. Yeah. Tabanobu Asano.
Oh yeah.
Who played Lord Raiden was excellent. Mm-hmm. And Chin Han, who plays Shang Tsung, who is the kind of bad guy, so to speak, was so good. The costumes were fantastic on both those characters. Dude, Raiden was badass. That was sweet. The character of Kung Lao, Max Huang, played him. That was a cool version. I had forgotten about that character. Was really good. I will say this, as the token white guy on this podcast, the non-Asian characters in the movie sucked. Sorry. The Asian characters carried this movie. They were better actors, better action. Just all around, it was better. And even Louis Tan, who plays the lead character Cole Young, I thought he was not great, but the rest of the crew really did a great job. It's not a terrible movie. I would give it like a 6 or a 7. And don't let that do like, hey, that's a terrible movie. No, it's not. Okay. I'm just gonna let you know, don't go to the theaters and see it. I would watch it on HBO Max. Drink a beer, pop some popcorn, buy a pizza or something like that. Watch it with a bunch of your buddies, socially distanced, and have a good time. It's a good, dumb, stupid action movie. It is what it is. It's as I put on Facebook, it's a violent movie based on a violent video game. End of story. But moving along, I enjoyed it. It is what it is. So
Absolutely. I was definitely. It was just supposed to be dumb fun, and yeah, you can't be serious when you're talking. You can't have a serious film when you're talking about campy, campy characters who could do like ice magic and fighting in different realms. Like you
I
can't be
won't,
a super serious story.
I won't spoil anything, but
Mm.
um, I'm just gonna say, you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
The part that was like, oh shit,
Mm.
was summed up with flawless
Oh.
victory.
Oh yeah, that part.
That part
Yeah.
was like, oh
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is it's one of those movies. Okay, you
Yeah.
have my attention, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
but moving on, um, you know, it was a tough month because you had so much but so little going on because it was the month that stuff has kind of opened back up. People are going to the theaters. Um, we saw Mortal Kombat and Godzilla versus Kong do relatively decent in the theater. We saw Falcon the Winter Soldier absolutely dominate everything having to do with social media and pop culture for the past for the past 6 to 8 weeks.
Mhm.
So it was tough to really pick for this. But I enjoyed going back to the comic book story. I took a couple of weeks off here and there. I wasn't feeling very well. I'm still dealing with my shoulder injury. Um, and I appreciate everyone who's been sending me well wishes. But
Mhm.
I have here in front of me some of my favorite covers of the month, and I want to start off by showing a little love. Now, I'm a little behind on story series. I have not been reading as much,
Mhm.
but I've been really focusing on trying to sleep as much as I can if JR and I are not on podcast.
Mhm.
But I did see this. Um, I was walking through Sid's shop a couple of weeks ago, and I saw this cover, and I was like, I know that artwork. I mean, it's just standing out. It just jumped out at me. I'm like, I know that work. That's a Ryan Kincaid cover, and I don't recognize the character nor the book. And I was like, oh, it's an indie. And I was like, I got to show him some love. Like, I'm gonna have to buy this book and make sure get it out there. So the story is called Dead End Kids,
Yeah.
and I don't know much about it because I only have issues 3 and 4.
Mhm.
But this is the cover. It is from uh, Source Point Press.
Yep.
This is the cover. Very much a Ryan Kincaid esque cover. For those who know Ryan Kincaid, he's a great writer, or sorry, great artist. Does
Yep.
primarily a lot of cover, cover variants and stuff like that. He actually did a sketch variant for me, but yeah, it just looked kind of interesting. This is being written by Frank Gogol, art and colors by Ninad Savitikanen,
Mhm.
letters by Sean Reinhart, cover by Chris Mad, incentive variant by Ryan Kincaid. This seems to be the incentive variant. Yeah,
Mhm.
this is issue number 4, print 2.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I saw these at Sid's shop and I grabbed it. I'm looking for the Kincaid cover for issue number 2 and number 1. So I'll be looking for that online. This is the
Mhm.
other one. Not my favorite, but this is the other cover for issue number 3.
Mhm.
I like issue number 4 better, but I just wanted to throw some love for old Scotty boy. He's always done us right. Or sorry, for Sean.
Ryan.
No, I'm
Ryan
sorry,
Kincaid.
Ryan. Apologize. Um,
Yep.
sorry, I had a bunch of different Kincaid friends in my head. But no, Ryan Kincaid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Want to show him some love because, like I said, you take care of those who take care of you,
Mhm.
and he's always watched out for us over the years. Real quick before we move on, because I'm going to come back to my collection, I want to give JR an opportunity too. This was a book I didn't think I was going to be able to get. Matter of fact, Chick had already issued refunds to most of us for this book, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the foil variant, the grandpa variant. of Berserker #2.
Oh yeah.
And was managed to get one. And it's a pretty bitchin' cover. It's pretty cool to see. It's so amazing to see, growing up as a child of the 80s and the 90s, growing up having watched Point Break, watching Speed, watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, watching the Matrix movies, now watching the John Wick movies, and now to see this guy who was like a total stoner dude, what's up? Or like, excellent. That
Yeah.
guy is now freaking on the cover of a comic book that he helped create. And he's one of the biggest movie stars and one of the biggest action stars of our generation.
Yep.
With the John Wick movies, and potentially is going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe hopefully soon. It's just so cool to see him immortalized. I mean, his movies will live on as well, but dude, you're on a freaking comic book cover, dude. It's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
Again, have not read Berserker yet. I've heard nothing but good things, and I'll eventually get to it. But I wanted to throw those covers out there to give a little love to our good buddy Ryan Kincaid, and of course to show some love for Keanu.
Yeah, well, you know me, my love for Keanu knows no bounds, man. I've I've loved that man since Speed. So
Yeah, I mean, Speed was my first rated R movie I ever saw. Of all things, my ultra conservative grandma and grandpa on my mom's side
yeah.
showed me that movie.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, it's definitely a great, like, just him and I forgot
Sandra Bullock.
yeah, Sandra Bullock, man. They've I just got so mad that they've never actually got it together. Actually, we're married. We're never got in a relationship. So, but yeah, but going on from that, man, like, let's do it too for as we're doing. I want to combine favorite comic book storylines or series and just comics in general, man. As I just point out, even though I couldn't find it. Actually, my favorite storyline that actually ended last year or ended last month is this one right here, King in Black #5, man. And I will definitely say, King in Black hasn't necessarily. It's very divisive. I will say that because one, it's my boy, of course. It's my boy who's doing it, and like I get it. Like when you pull from continuity and try to make your own thing, it's crazy to do so but I will definitely say how he finishes up King in Black is pretty freaking crazy. Venom comes back, he takes, and you have Eddie Brock take freaking Mjolnir and Silver Surfer's board and combines it into a freaking battle axe. It's insane. So yeah, you have some of that craziness coming out, man. So that's definitely one thing that's for the history books for me, Ben. But like, just going to because I'm just gonna say that now, guys. Within the next possibly 20 minutes, we're just gonna show off for comic books. That's it.
Yeah, pretty
Our
much.
favorite stuff. Basically, pretty much, right? We're just gonna show our favorite comic books. We're gonna say it. One of my favorite comics picked up last month. I'm pretty sure this is last month. Yeah, Avengers 44 Peach Momoko cover. I can't show it because I got to shut off my thing. You do your thing first.
Can someone please get JR a green screen?
Oh man, I don't. Here's the thing, you guys have known for a while now that I have a freaking messy ass room because of all the moving I do. It's got even messier now, and I really fear to
Please don't judge.
it. Huh?
So please don't judge.
But yeah, I'm just gonna show right now that it's horrible. I will say that because I've gotten better and then I've gotten worse. It's weird.
Real quick, while JR does that, I'm gonna bust this out. Gonna go on a real roll here. These are the variant covers. One is the Virgin variant from Crossover #6. This is the Virgin variant. Want to say thank to Sid Johnson over at Desert Oasis Comics. Scored this. This is what happens right here, folks, when you are patient. He got his shipment late a couple of Wednesdays ago and had not gone and put it on the floor yet and had not researched the price on it. And him and I agreed upon a fair market price on it. And I think I got it below market value. Sid still made some money. And it's one of the cooler covers that they did. So it's a Virgin variant of cover A of Crossover #6. This is a very much a play on the old Marvel Comics cover. Well, you're not gonna be able to see it because there's a lot of green in here, so I'm gonna have to disable my green screen here for a second, which is fine because at least I have a backdrop.
Like me.
So yeah, here is the cover. It does have what's the guy? Oh, I can never remember his name.
Green Dragon.
Green Dragon, that's it. On the cover.
Dragon. Yeah.
And
Savage Dragon. I apologize.
Savage Dragon. I apologize. Savage Dragon. And it is, like I said, it's very much the a play on the old Marvel Comics group, or Marvel Comics cover with the old kind of cover or badge up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of playing on the fact that you have in this crossover storyline, you have references to all of the different kind of comic continuity. Another one, hopefully this will show up because the green screen, and it does. There is the Yoda cover from the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back in comic form. It's got Yoda on the cover, but the one that I wanted is this bad boy right here, and this is the movie poster variant of Empire Strikes Back. You can see it right there, a little bit of green spots there. Got this from Sid's shop as well. So thank you, Sid. Much love. And all right, JR, show us what you got, buddy. I got 2 books left before we wrap things up. What do you got to show off, bud?
I got well, for those who know me, I tend to buy a lot of books, so I couldn't really pick on one. I apologize, my friend. I'm just gonna go rapid fire. Pretty sure you've seen this one.
Yes, that's one of my favorite Peach Momokos is the
Avengers 44.
Avengers 44 with, of course, Jennifer Walters on the cover.
Yep, Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk. The Virgin variant came out of it. I got this one. It's a Something's Killing Children. I think issue 9. It was a exclusive variant for a certain website. I forgot the name of. That one I got one. This one, I think I'm pretty sure I showed off already. But Silk number 1.
Is that the art term? No,
Jihan Lee variant. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Jihan Lee variant, and of course the Yoshitake, I think Amano, the Final Fantasy longtime artist who went to DC for a little bit, man, and he did a cover for Harley Quinn. That one came out. I'm gonna just show this now. Hopefully.
Of course, for those of you who aren't noticing this, I'll point it out as JR mildly flexes his PS5 controller sitting on his bed right next to his headphones. That is what they call a pseudo mild flex, as we all know that JR is now in possession of a PlayStation 5.
Yep.
Asshole.
And so there's also another variant that came out, which is exclusive variant. You can hear me still. I got the Women of Marvel Jihyun Lee variant. Right? This one right here. Hey, my boy. Women of Marvel Scarlet Witch variant. Right? And the Virgin. And guess what, guys? I got 4 of these. So this is actually going to be the set. This is actually going to be the set that I'm going to be giving out when you reach 100.
That is sick.
This is one of the sets. This is I'm still going to include my other Artgerm stuff in it, but this is now going to be added to the pile.
Telling you guys, JR has been teasing us for months that he is fucking with my microphone again. I never could get this damn thing right.
I finally got this freaking sucker in, man. Finally.
Virgin variant of Peach Momoko's X-Men book that she's writing and drawing, I believe.
Yeah. I also got the Silk number 2 Rose Beige cover. I got 2 of those. My favorite Vampirella one because this is very Frazetta. I'll say that. It's not from Frazetta. Yeah. It's from I forgot the artist's name, but the Vampirella one. And that's the majority of my stuff now. I know that I think Kevin still got 1 or 2 more.
I do. this was a guy that I stumbled upon because his go-to character um has been Harley Quinn, and
Mhm.
I've had a chance to meet him at Comic-Con a couple of years ago.
I know who
And
you're
of
talking
course, it's our
about.
boy Derek Cho.
Yeah,
Derek Cho, sorry, Derek Chu.
very true.
Um, Derek Chu. It's odd to see him do one in landscape mode, not portrait
Mhm.
mode.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, in portrait mode, not landscape. So he
yeah,
usually does them like this, but
yeah.
um, just very much
Amazing.
the Harley that we know right now, the
Mhm.
version of Harley Quinn that we know right now. And of course, I don't know the artist, but I thought it was kind of a cool cover. It was one that I really didn't want because I just wanted the Derek Chew, but in order to get the Derek Chew, I had to buy this one. But ended up this one kind of grew on me. It's a little
Mm.
different. Here's the Harley Quinn issue number 2.
Yeah,
Um, just a unique way of how they draw Harley.
yeah,
So, but that's all I got today, my friend.
yeah.
Um,
I think that's basically it. Just for just kind of see what our favorite things were of last month, man. I will say this then to kind of end it off. What events are you looking forward to?
what am I looking forward to for the month of May and stuff?
Or just let's say for future, like because I know that you brought up Derek Chu and all these amazing artists that we've met in person. What event are you looking forward to get to go to?
Well, I am. I mean, I'm curious to see what Comic Con International is going to do
Mm,
this November. They
yeah.
have planned a mini version of the San Diego Comic Con
Mm,
for November of this year. I do know that the lineup for Comic Con Revolution in December continues to grow leaps and bounds every time they announce something. Of course, we mentioned. I told Jr. this past week that one of his Man Crush Mondays is going to be coming to Comic Con Revolution in December, and that is was it Timothy Zahn,
yeah. I think it's
the
on. Yeah.
the of course one of the architects of the Star Wars extended universe.
Yep.
Um, I mean, isn't it
Yeah.
basically they're simply known as the Zahn books, aren't they?
Yeah.
For
For
years,
yeah for General, I forgot his name. Good God, General Thrawn.
Thrawn, yes, he
Yeah,
is kind of
Thrawn.
I think he's the guy who created General Thrawn, right?
Yeah, him as well as Luke's actual wife, which they have yet to say, yet to unveil for that. So here's hoping. Here is definitely hoping, man. So I'm super excited to see Timothy's on.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I think most of us. I think that not only going back to cons is something that I'm looking forward to. We do know that Comic Con International has all but said that WonderCon 2022 will come back. Is their schedule? They're going to come back. There is nothing that's going to keep them from coming back in spring of 2022, which means that one would have to imagine that San Diego Comic Con will return in July of 2022. Um, I would say that we're probably going to get a D23 sometime in next year, a Star Wars Celebration sometime next year. I don't think we're going to get anything else this year. I don't foresee us getting a New York Comic Con. I don't see us getting anything other than what has been pseudo announced. No word on Amazing Con in Las Vegas, even though Nevada has really loosened up a lot of their COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking forward to finish off this year. I'm looking forward to Loki. I'm looking forward to What If.
Mhm.
Looking forward to the possibility of us getting Hawkeye maybe in the fall, but definitely Mandalorian season 3 and the Book of Boba Fett. Um,
Yeah.
man, we are. Jared, think about this. We are less than a month away from the halfway point of
Yeah.
2021,
Crazy,
and
crazy, my friend.
we have got so much in store. We have got, like we said last week, we've got Black Widow, the Eternals, we have got Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, we've got Spider-Man, we've got all the Disney Plus content. We have we still have I think we still have Top Gun that's going to come out this year. We've got so much stuff that's going to hit. We have the Suicide Squad that is yet to make its debut on
Yep.
HBO Max. We do know that Peacemaker, the show executive produced by James Gunn, starring John Cena, you can't see him, is going to be coming to
Yeah,
HBO
man.
Max. So there's so much content coming out,
Yep.
and yeah, I just can't wait
Yeah.
for all that 2021 has to offer.
It's like that. Yeah, just for me too, man. Like the event. I think I told you guys already that the event I'm going to in September is gonna be the Oregon Comic Con, the Rose City Comic Con, where I cannot wait. Granted, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a couple of restrictions there, regardless, because it's Oregon, and I just can't wait to go back, man. I just want to see what that
Yeah.
looks like. I just want to see what the con life looks like from this new perspective of COVID. I just want to see. I want to see who's there. I want to see if we can meet some old friends I made the last time I was around, and see if we can, see what's up. Maybe make some deals, do some wheeling, dealing. Probably get
Yeah.
hopefully a something to and children #1 for decent price. Nothing too crazy, but who knows? Yeah, I'm just super excited for what's gonna come, my guys.
One of the reasons why, too, I want to throw this out here as we wrap things up. One of my
Mhm.
favorite things that we've done so far this year is we really expanded the podcast. I've gotten more in depth in getting my footprint back on the World Wide Web and podcasting and doing vlogs and stuff like that. Is doing gaming streaming. And reason I have Madripoor behind me is
Mhm.
this is something that I really I couldn't wait to see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to the point where you're gonna laugh. Is for those who don't know, I've joined the online sensation known as Animal Crossing. And in it, you of course you build this island full of animated animal characters and whatnot.
Mhm.
um my island is called Madripoor, and it has very much a shield theme to it. I have shield flags everywhere, so it's very Marvel-esque. um but for those of you that want to, I'm going to be doing some more live streaming. As a matter of fact, I'm in the process of moving some of my other old gaming systems into my office. I'm looking for a switch that I can hook up to, not the video game switch, but like an actual like switch to switch between systems that can
Mhm.
hook up to my HDMI, my Elgato card, and I'm going to do some streaming here in the future. But for the time being, going to be pretty much going to be doing some Animal Crossing videos,
Uh-huh.
and also going to be doing some Pokemon stuff as
Yeah.
we inch ever so closer to more Pokemon games coming out this year as they celebrate the 25th anniversary of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so head over to not just on this YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. I'm going to do some streaming on here. You can also find me at Voice of Reason on Facebook. I'm going to be streaming some stuff there. Maybe even we may even do it on our PS Comics I Love You Facebook page.
Mhm.
But also on Twitch. You can find me at True Voice of Reason 23 on Twitch. Might do some stuff there. But yeah, just doing some more gaming streaming. So that's one of the
Mm.
reasons why I picked Madripoor, to kind of cross promote some of the stuff that we're doing. And I know that JR and I are gonna maybe do some streaming if
Yeah.
I ever get a PlayStation 5 and catch up to him.
Oh, yeah. The plans for me, man, is it's just I hate how everything costs so much money. I hate how everything that I want costs so much
Dude,
money.
tell me
I'm
about it.
I'm looking at like, okay, so yeah, of course to improve the setup for this awesome podcast that we do. Yeah, all the things that we said before. The mic, probably a better mic, and of course, obviously the freaking quad, because the quad, what the quad does for us is that we're able to handle one more mics, the quality of better mics, as well as the ability to probably take down the go and interview people, have more mics on hand. That is gonna be definitely one thing that I am trying to focus on, as well as having a good editing bay, in the sense of like just having a better laptop, having a better laptop, or even making my own PC, man. And yeah, streaming is definitely in the cards for me. I can't wait to go back into streaming and just seeing what we can do from here, man. But yeah, it's been really, really cool to see all this, man. And so I definitely, guys, thank you much. Thank you very, very much for all your support and everything we do. Hearing us two guys just ramble on and on about just nerd stuff, and we must be doing something right, man. You guys listen to us, man. So thank you very much for your continued support, and please continue to support the podcast on all our social media platforms. And again, guys, like I said, the second we hit that magic number, man, I'm a I'm gonna raffle off these babies. So Here we go.
Heck yeah. Again, he is JR Cabacungan, the Dark King, at also not JR Comics 42 on Instagram. I am Kevin Pillow at Voice of Reason 23 on all social media platforms. And again, hit us up on our social media platforms for the show. PS Comics I Love You on Instagram and Facebook. PS Comics I Love the letter U on Twitter. PS Comics I Love You at gmail.com is our email address. And all that information can be found below in the description on YouTube, as well as on our podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, just to name a few, iHeartRadio, and now, of course, on Amazon Music. You don't want to miss it. Subscribe, like, give us that 5-star rating, and let us know what you think. And, of course, again, I've been asked over the week, with the new Spotify upgrades and the new Apple Podcast upgrades. No, we have no plan on going to a paid subscription for this podcast. Maybe we'll do some behind the scenes stuff, and or add some outtakes or something. Maybe we'll do that behind a paywall, but that's when we hit it big and people actually give a shit about us. But no, the people do care. Thank you everyone who watches, listens, subscribes, follows, stalks us, whatever it is. I really, really appreciate it. Guys, thank you. And as always, go out there, be kind, wear your damn mask, and peace.
Cool, man.